Welcome to Buns, Burgers, and Big Ideas, the go-to podcast for aspiring and seasoned leaders in the quick service restaurant industry. Each week, we serve up actionable insights and proven strategies to help you lead smarter, build stronger teams, and elevate operations. Whether you're taking your first steps into leadership or refining your expertise, we're here to fuel your growth and spark big ideas. Let's dig in.
Mr. Eric. Good morning.
Mr. Riley.
I know. So formal. I noticed you have a number 2 pencil.
Well, yeah.
Why don't you have a number 1? You know we're number 1 around here.
We are number 1. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out.
It's
For those of you on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Usually I'm using a pen, but I got a number 2 pencil today.
I stole his pen, and he's like, "Where's my pencil? Where's my pen?" And I was like, "Here's a number 2 pencil."
Right. Speaking of that, you can watch us on YouTube.
Yes.
So
yes.
click subscribe. Is that what
Follow.
they do on that?
We always jack that up. Yeah, it's below.
Below.
Subscribe below. Yeah.
I'm pointing down.
Remember, your camera's right here.
Oh, Hello.
Welcome back to Buns,
yeah.
Burgers, Big Ideas. We have a lot of fun around here.
We do.
We
follow.
do.
What else? Follow us on you're supposed to follow us, right? Spotify.
Yeah, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
or wherever you stream.
Wherever you stream. Yep, you got it.
I like it. Because I don't think we say that all the time.
No, we don't.
And share it with others, right? Share this content, share the podcast. Hopefully you're liking it. If you're not liking it, give us the feedback as to why you're not liking it.
Yep, feedback lines are open, man.
Yeah. So, today, Riley, you've built some great content around habit is persistence in practice, right? Habit is persistence in practice. Inspiring thoughts will only get you so far.
Heck yeah.
Where did this come from?
You.
Me.
So we have a chat, and he's like, "Hey, he throws some ideas in there, some thought provokers." I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna throw it in the list." And so this morning I was like, "We got some recording."
This is the one. That's what I was wondering. I guess maybe that's why you picked it. Yeah.
It spoke out to me because practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
We've heard that in your life. Elementary school, high school, practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
But you can only think so much about the future or the next best thing so much until that's just all you're doing is talking.
Right. It was funny because some of these episodes and stuff, like Nikki, my wife, she listens. So we've got at least one, right? But she was talking to me about some of these things, and she's like, yeah, but at some point you just have to do. Right, you can't just sit around here having grand ideas without actually being productive or doing
ideas.
those things.
Sorry.
Yeah, big.
Sorry.
I was gonna have the grand idea.
Okay, great, grand.
Yes. So you can think of what you want to do and what you want the future to look like, but you got to start taking steps towards that.
To action.
Eventually, that inspiration and that motivation may start to fade a little bit, kind of like a New Year's resolution, right? You go into this like gung-ho of like, we're going to do this, right? And all of a sudden, one day turns in the next and you forgot what you were trying to accomplish.
Yep. The consistency part is key, and habit is persistence and practice. I think really just encapsulates the idea that to build a habit, you have to continually practice and be persistent in whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah.
If it's to be a better leader, then what are you doing every day to take one tiny baby step closer to that goal or to that habit?
Yeah.
You mentioned New Year's resolutions. For me, that has kind of taken a back seat because, I'm so busy and but I can talk about it all day. Oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. I've got this idea, right? But I need to put the action in.
Yeah.
It's the action.
And maybe that's the wrong thing then. Like people, you should have something to look forward to. You should have those goals that you're truly looking forward to and that inspire you. Because if you truly are inspired by what you're trying to accomplish, like you don't need somebody. Like I was telling you earlier, like I don't need somebody yelling at me in the bed to say, "Hey, Eric, go get up and go do." Right?
Yeah.
Like because I'm excited about the day. I'm excited about what I'm going to accomplish. I'm excited about inspiring and leading and leading this organization into where we're going, which is going to be that world-class type of organization. And, I think just the practice of that does fail a lot of people, right? Like even working out, like, you know, I've talked about my journey before and the weight loss journey. And it wasn't just about losing weight. It's about feeling healthy too.
Yeah.
But the scale doesn't show that every day, right? Like I get, and I start working out. I'm like, okay, the next day, like,
that gratification.
Nothing. I gained 5 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so that motivation thing, at some point you just have to do the work, right? You have to put the work in, and you have to do it consistently to where you're going to yield those results, and that's hard for a lot of people.
It is. We've talked about vision boards a lot, which you know, some people are, some people aren't. I didn't really think I was, and it's on my board, and I'm still not doing it. But but one of my goals that I am excelling at that does make me excited is my just like saving money, like, and being financially smarter with my money. And we're gonna have an episode very soon about some different ways to save some money, different ways, you know, around, it's almost tax time. So we're going to talk about that more. But my goal is to save some money this year and pay off my credit cards. And so the last 2 months, I haven't used my credit cards.
Nice.
Like I put the credit cards away, and I've just been using cash or my debit card. So that's money that's you know, it's different. Swiping a credit card versus swiping your money is completely different. And I've learned that.
Yeah.
And so now I'm just excited to finally pay off the last one and then just start saving money.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited about it. Like I can see it, I can taste it. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. And that's where surrounding yourself with like-minded people really can help. So I don't know if you know, maybe join some, Facebook groups, or you're watching, Financial Success or whatever like that is. But like, you got to find people that are also going to be motivated, right, around that goal, because those support groups really can help. And I think there's something to be said about those, that type of thing, right? Like if you are, say, on a weight loss journey or, personal journey around finance, like who's going to support those conversations as a leader, right? Like if you're looking to become a leader, listening to a podcast. Like I people may look at me and say, "Hey, it's silly," but like I like listening to podcasts while I'm running. Right? It's like a 2 birds, 1 stone type thing. So if I'm running 2, 3, 4 miles, whatever that day is bringing me from a workout standpoint, I'm going to listen to a little bit of that leadership podcast because I'm working on myself while working on myself.
Yeah.
And I've built it into a habit now, though, right? Like that's where it's like tying your shoes, right? And I think sometimes we just, it got really hard, so I just stopped, right? Or, oh, shoot, yeah.
Or something,
right.
or something totally small and insignificant just kicked you off the track, because that's me.
Yeah, because we make those little today, I don't have time, or I had to do, it's my day off and I just want to lay around and all that kind of stuff. Like all of a sudden, but that one day of not doing turns into 2 days of not doing,
and then
3 days, and then all of a sudden,
it seems
3 years
impossible.
later, right? Like here we are.
Next New Year's resolution.
So create those habits, create the consistency, and get those things to be like tying your shoes. And we've talked a lot about that, especially in the organization around, like, if you want to be successful, you can be successful.
You have to own it. Own your development. And you mentioned finding those support groups, which I think starting off is great. Like find something, either support groups or Facebook groups or whatever you mentioned, to help you kickstart that habit or that practice. But then once you get going, then it's all you. It's all you.
Yeah, and it's funny because depending on the type of person you are, I know a lot of different leaders in our organization. Some like to do all sorts of research before they like jump in the ship and start driving, right? Like they want to know everything about everything, and which is fine. It's cool, right? Like, hey, this is going to happen, then we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this.
Planned out, meticulous.
Really, really planned out. And some people like to just jump in. So like, depending on who you are, I don't know if that really matters. It's just identify what you want to do and start building that habit to where it is a habit. Riley, like I'll brush my teeth every day, right? Like we all have these habits of things that we do every day. And sometimes that can get thrown off. Right? Like, I don't know, maybe I ran out of toothpaste or something.
You spilled some milk.
The spilled milk stuff. So all of a sudden, like, you can get off track. Like, it happens naturally. Things will throw you off track. You get a phone call and somebody wants to talk about this or whatever. It doesn't matter. But how do you get yourself back on track? So let's say that you did miss yesterday.
Yeah.
What are you going to do today, though, to make sure that you get back on the horse? So I don't know, like, what are some things that you do to really own your development and to keep those? So you talked about your financial success. Like, what are things that you're doing every day?
Well, honestly, my TikTok For You page is full of Dave Ramsey. And I'm Dave-ish. I'm going to say it. I'm Dave-ish. But it's helping, though.
Okay.
It's helping. Yeah. Because I see that constant content of, hey, this stuff works. It's proven. If you do this, it'll work. And so I'm like, all right. And so I'm like, put the credit cards away and it's working. And so I'm like, how can I not continue that?
And I think that's great. It is the consistency around that. It's owning that. And like you said, if it's a vision, like what's going to keep you on track? Because motivation will only get you so far. Like I can be motivated for our organization to become world-class and lower our trailing 12-month turnover. But like if I don't do something about it, like I can dream big and I can have all these grand plans or big ideas, right? I'm going to say big now today because I don't know why grand is in my head, but I'll have these big ideas, but like I have to take a step eventually, whether I love to plan things out or if I love to just jump right into it. But like I have to take that first step. And they do say that the first step is the hardest. But I'm going to tell you, Rome wasn't built in a day. And you have to take one step leads into the next step. And yes, if you take a couple step back, it's going to happen. Like I failed so many times. The last few books I'm reading about have been all about failure. And it's like, I have failed, but I can live in that failure because I know that no matter how many steps back I'm going to take, I will take that next step forward. And I will get past that. And I will get past these obstacles. And I will get past the challenges. And we sometimes just allow those obstacles to just stop everything. Like, if this was easy, anybody would do it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to tell you that. Like, if becoming a leader was easy, anybody would do it. If running a restaurant was easy, anybody would do it. If this was easy, right, then we wouldn't need me or you or maybe you know whatever it is that you do from an audience standpoint. But like, this is going to be hard work and you're going to fail. You're going to fail. Yep. I have failed so much and I probably have failed more than I've succeeded. There was that Kobe Bryant thing where, you know, how many shots he's taken, right? Like he's taken, and you know, don't quote me, right? Like Google it, but he had to practice, and he's taken millions of shots because at the end of the day, you know, there's only so many shots that he's made on the court, but you have to fail, and it's okay to fail.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The failure is it's failing forward, right? You're learning. Now, if you fail and you go, oh my gosh, I suck at this, and this is never going to work, and you have that negative mindset, then yeah, you're probably never going to take that next step or that step again, that step forward. So just, it's okay to fail and just, you know, reset and keep going. Try again.
And let people know what you're trying to be successful at. The more you say it, the more you talk about it, the more you live it, the easier it becomes. And then people start asking you about it.
Okay, how's that going?
Yeah. Surround yourself with the people that do care. Surround yourself with people that have those same interests. Because it's, like I said, motivation is great. Having big ideas is great. But we got to start taking those steps, and we got to start building those habits. And once it's a habit, man, it's a habit. It's a habit.
How? What is the math or the science behind a habit?
Yeah.
Was it
28 days?
28 days to make one?
Make a habit.
And then was it like 2 weeks? No, it's like
3 days to
break it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
let's Google that later.
28 days.
We're just going to throw out random facts today without any sort of context. But it's much easier to break a habit than it is to build a habit. So it's a really key point, Riley. And that's where it's like, you can't just, because one day, right? Like if something happened one day, fine. Own it. Figure it out.
Next day, get back at it.
Get back on it, right? Get back on that horse. And so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. You know, I think this habit is persistence and practice is a great way to think about your development and just, you know, what are you going to do today to take that next step and whatever it is that your goal is. So.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thanks for listening and learning and leading with us. See you later.
Thanks for joining us on Buns, Burgers, and Big Ideas. We hope today's episode inspired fresh ideas for your leadership journey. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and keep learning with us as we continue to explore leadership in the QSR world. Until next time, take care and lead well.